What's up and welcome back to the Scuffed Ass Podcast for episode number 272. At least I think that's right. I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I wonder. My sleep schedule's extra fucked. And like in a way that's bad for me, but it would be bad for every person. So when the draft started, I was sleeping like shit. Because Thursday, I fell asleep at like 1 in the afternoon and the draft started at 5, 6, something like that. And my alarm didn't go off. So I get a call from Jake 20 minutes before 20 minutes before the start of the draft, 10 minutes after we were supposed to have been live. Like, hey, what's going on? And I was like, oh, fuck. Okay. Did that. Ended up being up really late that night anyways. But also got like an hour of sleep that night going into the next day. So did all my shit. I think that would have been Saturday. Whatever days are. Went to the Rockies game, I think. Came home, streamed. I was like, I know it's only like 10 p.m., but I'm fucking exhausted. I'm going to go to bed. Probably fell asleep at 11. Woke up at 2.
Oh.
In the morning. For people that care. And then yesterday, yesterday was up all day, got to like 11 p.m. Actually, I made it to midnight. So I was like, oh, well, I'll start flipping my schedule. Went to bed, woke up at 2:30. I've been awake since 2:30 in the morning. I'm tired. And then I walked and went and saw Revenge of the Sith in theaters. I finally redeemed myself because you remember the story. My sister took me when I was 5, and we had to go to multiple different theaters to finally get tickets, so we didn't make it into the movie until 1 in the morning. And, little 5-year-old me fell asleep before the Anakin Obi fight.
Yep.
Almost fell asleep before the Anakin Obi fight again. But
funny.
You know what kept me awake? There were like 4 people in the theater. I got to talk about this theater experience, but there were only like 4 people there, and they were far enough away, and it was loud enough. I just kept recited the whole movie with it, so I would stay awake. Recited every line, as you do. Probably look like a fucking psychopath, but that's okay. The theater's weird. So they have multiple different theaters because it's got like 3D theaters, and then it's got one called 4DX where it's like a 3D movie, but then they also do like your seat moves, and then they like blow wind and make smells and all sorts of stuff, like hot and cold depending on when things happen, I guess. I didn't go to that, but I think the theater right below the one I was in did that, because the entire section of seats I was sitting on kept fucking bouncing all the time. It was kind of freaky. Didn't like it. It felt like, I don't know if you've ever been to the Denver Broncos stadium, but
No.
Okay. So the top section of bleachers is all metal. So it like moves when people are like all excited and shit. And it's really freaky. I think the platform that all these seats are on is just metal. So it just shakes. Fucking freaky though. I'm sitting there, I'm like, am I spazzing out or what is happening? Some people left. So I guess it was really freaking them out. Because this theater, I do not like. I have finally found something that not our near hometown, but the bigger place that's in a different state near us. Yep. I found something they do better. Movie tickets. Like a third of the price there. Tickets to movies here are $25, which is weird because you know what you can sign up for? A pass to see unlimited movies for $25 a month. So as long as I just go to a movie a month, it's worth it. And so I signed up for that because I literally have to go to another movie this weekend. So I was like, okay, pays for itself after a week. Sick. Because Thunderbolts comes out this week.
Yeah.
I guess the day where this episode drops, Thunderbolts is out. But that was seeing $25. I was like, huh? I missed my $8 ticket, man.
Yeah. Well, my question is, it's what kind of smells do those theaters
I don't know. I
replicate?
wasn't in it.
Like,
I
let's
kind
say,
of wish I
imagine
would have
seeing-
went. Yeah, like when Anakin's burning, do they
Yeah,
replicate
that's
burning
right.
flesh? That'd be sick. Both
It would be-
versions of the word sick.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 Or like if you went and seen, what is it? Dumb and Dumber? No.
I don't know. There's lots of
Tommy
things that
Boy.
would be really gross, so I'm good. But like, I don't know. I kind of want to go to one, but I don't want to pay the upcharge because like it would cost another like $5 to go to one of those instead of the regular
Right.
theaters where it's free. Because now I just
Right.
get to go to unlimited movies, which sounds great.
Fair enough.
At least for 3 months, because that's the term you like. You can't cancel it for 3 months because they don't want people to do what I absolutely would have done. Pay for a month, go to 4 movies, and then not pay for it anymore. Because that rips them off. Because they're hoping for
Yeah.
months where you don't go to movies. But now it's only a mile away, and now it's free. I'll just walk and go see a movie sometimes. It's so much easier to
Right.
go see a movie now. Especially because I can just eat and then go to the movie. I don't even need to get snacks. I wish there was
Right.
a convenience store in between here and there, though. So I could just like buy a drink and sneak it in.
Yeah.
I'm
Like,
sorry. Their drinks were like $10. Good, dude. Movie theaters and they're trying to scam you is a little insane.
Right.
You can make money. I know what it costs to order fountain drinks. It's not that much, man.
No,
You can
no.
make money. I would be cool if you sold them like a small is $5 because their small was still fucking 24 ounces. Like, cool.
Uh-huh.
Sell that for $5 and call it good. $10 for a small, fuck you, dude.
Right.
You don't need to make $9 on every soda. I promise. You don't. You don't need
Right,
to.
and-
I get the want, but you don't need to, you douchebag.
Right. Well, you're going to have more sales
Right.
because half the people are going to stop, sneaking in their drinks and snacks.
Right? If you lowered it even to that, I would stop. I wouldn't think about sneaking things in. It was also $7 for any candy, and that drove me a little
Uh-huh.
nuts.
Yeah, the candy that they spent 98 cents on.
Though
they're
they
selling
do
for
have.
$7.
Do you remember Dibs? I think we talked about
Oh.
this a couple weeks ago, but like the little chocolate covered. Well, they're chocolate crunch bar covered only now. Dibs used to have so many options. I don't know what happened.
Uh-huh.
I really loved the mint ones because it was just mint ice
Yep.
cream covered in chocolate. That's fucking
Uh-huh.
incredible. But they sell Dibs at the movie theater, so you can get Dibs, and I think that's
Huh.
pretty cool. And this
Huh.
theater also gets all the cool popcorn buckets, not just the metal ones like our closest one did. So, okay,
Mhm.
not our closest one, but that other one that is closer doesn't count.
I know what you were talking about.
You know
The
the
only
theater
one we
I
go
would
to.
talk about. Yeah. I haven't gone to
Yeah,
that one. The one that is closest to you. I haven't gone to that one I saw Split. When did Split come out? Because that was the last movie I went to there. Had to have been like 2017 because I hadn't turned 18 yet. Because the dumb motherfucker at the ticket counter didn't want to let me in, even though I was there with somebody who was 18. And also, I was like 16 or 17. It's like, dude, I'm going. So it was 2016. So I was 16. And I just said, I'm buying the ticket and going in there. You can try to stop me. And he was like, no, I'm good. And just gave me the ticket. I was like, good choice. Thank you. Dickbag. You're not going to get in trouble. Nobody's going to know. Shut up and give me the ticket.
Right.
Just
It's not like you're like 8 or something
right.
like that.
It's like, dude, just fuck off. And I was with Anthony, who was like 18 at the time. So, like, who cares?
Right.
Bigger thing. If you see somebody drive up to the theater, why even question it? Like, who cares?
Uh-huh.
Why do you care? I'm sorry. I get, well, rule. Shut up about your rules. What do you think high schoolers are doing, man?
Right. Like you want to take a little, trip down inside my brain to see what kind of fucked up shit.
We're
This
thinking
movie
of,
ain't
we're
gonna affect
doing.
me at
Yeah,
all.
no. Split was fucking weird though, especially seeing it then.
Yeah,
Shit was weird.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
It's good. It's a horror movie, and the main character is played by James McAvoy, who played the younger version of Professor X in all of the X-Men movies.
Okay.
But it's a horror movie based on a character with like multiple personality disorder.
Oh, yeah, I never seen it, but I know exactly what
Yeah,
movie you're talking
it's
about now.
fucking wild. It's good. I like it. I'm not the biggest horror movie guy, but that one. It's so fucking weird, and I love it.
Right.
We did a review of
Yeah,
that
you'll
on
have to-
Dueling Fates. Sorry.
You'll have to like get on your calendar and just like every time you it's like on your Thursdays or something, just write movie question mark for
Right.
like every Thursday. So that way you look on your calendar and go, huh, I haven't seen a movie this month. What
Dude,
do they got for movies?
it's going to be so much easier now because Grayson will just be telling me about movies he plans to go to, and I'll just be like, oh, what's that about? Oh, fuck, I guess
Yeah.
I'll go. Cool.
Right? Yeah, there's stuff and things to do.
Yeah. Yeah. It's in a cool little mall area that I didn't really spend time checking out because I just wanted to.
Mm.
I didn't really want to leave my house today, but I wanted to see Revenge of the Sith in theaters before I probably never could again. So I was like, I'm going to walk there. I'm going to see the movie. I'm going to walk home. And that's exactly what I did. Passed by a bunch of stores where I was like, oh, that place is kind of cool. Wasn't in my plans for today, though. So I'm going to march because I don't know.
Yeah, I got my my shed built and moved over here
Nice.
and rebarred into the ground.
Probably not deep enough. Wonder, I'm getting old.
Huh?
I'm getting old.
What do you mean you're getting old?
Well, so you know how I used to get a sunburn and after I slept, it would be gone? Maybe it's just because I'm sleeping like shit recently. But I'm still red from Saturday. It's not peeling, though. I'm just red.
You ought to see my girlfriend.
And it's like, it's bugging me because this never used to be how it was. I would be outside. I would get red for that day. Like, it would be like, oh, you burned really bad. And then the next day I'd just be tan. And people would be like, yo, what the fuck?
Right.
But
Yeah.
what is happening? I'm like old
I
or
mean,
something.
You can see my arms are already starting to
Yeah.
tan, and I haven't even been outside much. But my girlfriend, she's like the other white meat. She's like
Yeah.
wonderful bread white.
She's not.
So
She might be like my sister. Does she just sunburn and then go back to pasty white? Never gets
yes,
tan?
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like my
she never
sister.
tans. She's just, yeah, she's like Wonder Bread white, and she never goes back. Like, she's just either red or she's white. There's no tan.
Nice.
So, which pisses her off because her sister was a lifeguard, so she like tanned really well, and she can't tan to save her life, and she's just red. She even wore sunscreen and still burned
Damn.
because she spent the weekend branding.
That's tough.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm happy to have got that building.
I bet.
I've reached my peak white trash moment.
No.
I live in a trailer house, and I bought a $250 shed from Walmart.
That's not peak white trash. You'll get there soon, though. Put a couch outside to sit on. You need outside couch.
I mean,
What about outside couch?
you should have been here when I moved. There was a couch that sat outside for 2 weeks
Why?
because it was the couch that was already in here,
Oh,
and it wasn't in very good shape.
but like you need it. Well, you need like deck couch, but you don't have a deck. You need to build a deck
Yeah.
to put a couch on. That's peak white trash. You need deck couch.
I wish I had a deck because then I could put my grill on it rather than
I
have it
had-
on.
I was peak white trash when I lived in South Dakota. To be fair, the deck was like enclosed, not like like it wasn't an insulated enclosed area, but it was like a sunroom basically. I guess
Right,
is
I
what it
get,
would be
like,
called. And
kind of what you see in Arizona quite a bit.
yeah, so had one of those and had a couch out there. And then because it wasn't like actually a part of the inside part of the house, that's just where we went to smoke because it kept you out of the actual weather. So
Right.
we had deck couch to smoke. That's peak white trash.
Yeah.
You want to fight about it? No.
I do.
What else has happened? Yeah, so the Rockies game, I went to a day game, so it was all sunny. I finally did my wear jeans for a day thing, though, at the Rockies game. So my legs didn't get tan, which is unfortunate. But whatever.
Yeah.
Because it was, so the reason I went to another Rockies game was it was the 30th anniversary of Coors Field. There was supposed to be some special concessions bullshit. There was one special concessions bullshit, and it was the most mediocre deal I'd ever seen. Sounds about right for Dick Monfort, but like, damn.
Right.
Because it was a small drink and a plain hot dog for $5. I was like, that's not 90s at all. Fuck you, dude.
Right.
So I didn't even end up doing the deal. I went and got a baked potato. That was pretty good. That was worth it.
Yeah.
Way more expensive than a $5 hot dog thing, though. Tasted way better, though. So, like, yeah, you win some, you lose some.
Right. Right.
Ugh.
Yeah.
You do anything fun over the weekend?
Now, pretty much just built my shed. And that took pretty much all of Saturday to do that.
Did you watch Andor yet?
I did. I did watch Andor. I did that Sunday.
So the scene. The scene at the end of, like, near the end of episode 3 with the Imperial officer.
Spoiler alerts, by the way.
True. Good call. Well, but I guess, yeah, spoiler alert. If you haven't seen Andor yet and care about spoilers, don't listen to this. It's been a week. Episodes 4 through 6 are out now. Shut up. So Star Wars Theory, everyone's favorite idiot on the internet, is upset that scene was included because while the Empire is evil, they would never stand for that. And I think that's an insane take. Also, that is exactly what people in positions of power have always done. Well, Star Wars used to say the quiet part out loud. No, they used to just keep it quiet and not say the quiet part out loud. No, they didn't. The entirety of the beginning of Return of the Jedi is just slavery and the same thing and awful. So it was okay then, but it's not okay now because it kind of, speaks to current issues in current year. Which Star Wars has always done, because stop saying keep politics out of Star Wars. Star Wars has always been political. And Star Wars has always been against the thing you think it's not against. Literally the entirety of the original trilogy was calling America the Empire. That's what it was doing. That was back then. That was in the 70s.
Right. Well, that's why people have problems with it now. Now it hits too close to home.
I guess. Now it's too obvious that they're talking about us. Yeah. like, dude, everybody who gets offended at that stuff, it's like, you're kind of telling on yourself a little bit, man. That maybe you're not, like, very great as a person. Tough.
See, I'm a politics guy, so, like, Andor, that's my, like, type of shit.
Yeah. Dude, Andor is so good. I hate it because people are like, it's been so boring already to start. It's like, no, this is great. I know they're not doing that much, but that's kind of why it's great.
Right. Yeah.
I am so not ready for the end of this season, though. Because we have to watch everybody die. Them's the rules. We have to watch them all die because Andor has to have nobody to start Rogue One. I saw a picture today, a screenshot from Rogue One that hurt me a little bit. Because Andor had a thing strapped to his jacket. That now we have the context that it was just Nemik's Manifesto, the character who was writing the Nemik's Manifesto from the last episode where they do the whole thing. He just he carried that with him his entire life, and that's so cool. But also, damn, you didn't have to tie it together like that. Now I'm sad again.
Yeah. Well, they're doing something right if they hit like, a nerve,
right,
or sadness, emotional. If they can make you emotional about something, they did something right. So
right. I don't know if they can ever beat the arc from the prison last season though.
Oh, right. Yeah.
The whole one way out speech, and then the soul crushing moment of they're all free and just, I can't swim. It's like, oh, all of that, and he doesn't make it out. That's tough. It's so accurate to how it would be, but like, fuck, dude. And that is why I think all the people who got upset that the one writer for The Acolyte had never watched Star Wars, and a couple other times they're like, yeah, we've never seen Star Wars, but they're making a Star Wars show, and people would get upset about that. Tony Gilroy has still never seen any Star Wars show, ever. And he wrote Andor.
Yeah.
He's got people in the room to make sure he doesn't, like, fuck up majorly. That's it. He doesn't give a shit about Star Wars. He got a paycheck to write a cool political drama, and he did. And it's great.
Yeah.
As cool as it is. Go ahead.
I'm kind of glad we're getting this podcast recorded today.
Why?
Because it would have been a late recording tomorrow.
Not only late, but I probably would have watched Andor while waiting for you to get on. So I'd be trying not to spoil the second set of episodes. At least by next Monday. If you can't get them watched within a week, you deserve the spoilers. Wonder, not the people out there. That's why we gave you the spoiler warning. You can come back whenever. But Wonder deserves to be spoiled if he doesn't. He has a week.
Yeah.
I don't believe in that you can't find, a couple hours over 7 days. I don't believe in that. You totally can. Whether you choose to or not is your fault. But you totally can find the time.
Right.
Did you watch it with Aspen?
No.
Okay.
She didn't come down this weekend.
Oh, okay.
She was up branding, so with her dad and
were
sister.
You supposed to be?
Yes.
And then you didn't?
No. Because
maybe you should have texted the one game night group so we could have played D&D. Because we didn't play because you were going to be gone, you fuck.
Well, I thought about that, but then I ended up busy at my folks anyway. So
oh, my Lanta, this fucking guy.
I started putting the building together Friday night. So that way I didn't have to do as much Saturday before I moved it over here. And it still took all day Saturday to get it, set up. And then I had, planned on game night Sunday. And right at last minute, the DM decided he was not feeling well.
Sounds about right for that group.
I was just leaving the driveway, which I was super late anyway, because I had a EMS call yesterday, and so that made me late. And so I was like, God dang it! So I was, I had 15 minutes to drive 30 miles, and so I was like, well, I was just getting ready to text him to tell him that I was going to be late, and then the text came across that he wasn't feeling well, and so then I called Heath and I was like, well, what's the plan?
Yeah.
And he's like, probably nothing. I was like, okay.
Having Andor around and then going to Revenge of the Sith today makes me want to start a Star Wars campaign. I don't think I'm gonna yet, but it makes me want to.
Right.
I also just want to finish the old one. I don't even care if Taryn dies at this point. I just want to end it. Fuck, you should let them all know I'll be in town that one weekend and just force them to play that Star Wars game.
Yeah. I
Bring it
should.
back.
He just had a family member pass away, and that's why
Uh,
the other guy that usually DMs was gonna DM, and then he ended up sick. So
we'll have to see. Maybe
I
I'll
don't.
come crash a D&D game.
Yeah. Well, Heath has been wanting me to try running a one shot or something like that
Yeah.
at some point.
Run one on the internet for all of us first. Get your test run with people who are less them.
Yeah, it wouldn't be that bad with them either. Especially since I'm getting fairly knowledgeable
Get
on.
your test run with the douchiest D&D player who will ruin every one of your plans.
Yeah. Well, my thing is I don't know if I just want to run a one shot.
Or if you just want to
Like,
start a campaign if you're going to do stuff.
and I've thought about just coming up with my own campaign entirely, and like spending, I don't know, 6 or 8 months building it, maybe longer, depending on what.
Well, I can think of a couple people who'd play in it online.
Right. Yeah.
I know you want to run it for your IRL group. That way, there's always a game. Because that if you DM, that means there's game. But
well, part of that's also it's a lot easier to DM in person than it is online. I feel like
might have to hit Heath up before I come back in a couple weeks. Be like, hey, can I come crash D&D?
Yeah, well,
like,
I'm sure he'd be like, yeah, roll up a character.
I'm just gonna tell him, be like, not tell anybody else. I guess you would already know, but it's like not tell anybody else. I'm just gonna show up, play a dumbass character, leave.
Yeah. Show up and ruin everything and leave.
Yeah, pretty much. What level are you guys? Probably already have a character rolled up that's close to that level.
I think we're level 5.
Oh God, you guys and your low levels.
6. Yeah, well, we've hardly played. Well, some of us are level 6. Like Andy and them are all level 6, but I've missed a couple sessions, so.
You missed a session? Oh my God.
Like 3 of them, yeah.
God, yes, finally bring in my changeling rogue, my changeling assassin, and just get all of your characters wanted and then leave.
That's
just like I turn into Wonder's character and just go start slitting random people's throats and then switch into somebody else's character and just murder constantly.
Yeah, we're already wanted, so we're literally wanted by pretty much everybody. So
well, that's lame.
Yeah, you have something I want. That's pretty much what it is.
You have something I want. Yes. What the fuck is that from?
I
don't know. What the fuck is that from? Oh, it's The Mandalorian. It's I can't remember character name, but it's Giancarlo Esposito.
Yes.
Talking about Grogu, if I remember correctly, or the Darksaber, one of the two. You have something I want.
Yeah. I don't know why that came to my head when it did, but my mind is weird.
Oh, that's sick. Yeah, no. So he was talking about Grogu.
Oh,
because I think the entire point of that. Well, so they have said it without ever actually actively saying it. But they're using Grogu to try to create. So you know how I want to say spoilers, but it's also been a fucking decade. So if you haven't figured it out by now, I guess there's nothing I can do. Especially since it was revealed in Fortnite and they didn't even wait for the movie to do it. But somehow Palpatine returned. And we find out it was clones and like Rey's dad was a clone of Palpatine.
Mm-hmm.
which so many problems here, but whatever. We're going to skip over that. I hate that entire dude. The Rise of Skywalker. You cannot like The Last Jedi all you want. I think there's only one flaw with it, and it's not even the one people think.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, literally, if you just change the reason Luke is on that island from I want the Jedi to end to he was just trying to learn more about the Force to actually be able to win, suddenly the movie's perfect. Like, actually, you don't have to change a lot. You just, whatever. Like, The Last Jedi is actually really good, and you can disagree with the direction they went in. Nothing about The Rise of Skywalker is good. Not a thing. It looks pretty, I guess. But other than that, not a thing. So Palpatine was trying to create clones that had the ability to use the Force so he could essence transfer to them. And the Bad Batch kind of talks about this with Omega being the one that they're trying to like. They never explicitly say, but it's very like out, so you put this together.
Out, anybody can figure it
That's
out.
not true. You got to remember how dumb you are, and then remember half the population's dumber. So I've decided that the actual thing here is that Grayson is probably like the average person, and the reason it pisses me off so much is because I know half the people on Earth are dumber than him, and that just makes me irrationally angry. Like, it's not even him that's the problem. It's the knowledge that he forces me to have that everyone else is dumber than him, and that hurts. Physically, it causes me pain. Oh my God. Did I tell you about what he did in D&D?
No.
So we set up this really fucked up session. Well, Miller did. But so we go to this place where the big bad evil guy is running like human experiments.
Mm-hmm.
And he's, I don't know if implanting's the right word, but that's what I'm going to go with. He's like implanting the Abyss, which is like a evil realm. He's implanting parts of the Abyss into people to try to make like super soldiers, basically. Really fucked up. All of these people are like in pain and fucked up, and we're there to try to help them. We figure out that there's a child that has been implanted with the Abyss from like immediately after birth. This child is also the big bad evil guy's son. So it's like, oh, evil guy's son implanted with like this really evil shit. And it was supposed to be this conundrum of, do you kill the kid? Do you not kill the kid? My character couldn't be involved in that conversation. Turns out I should have been, but we planned it to where I wouldn't. Mm-hmm. My character's whole thing is like, the end goal is to rid the world of evil. Doesn't matter how evil I have to be to do that. So, like, my character would have just been like, cool, time to kill the kid. Seems pretty simple to me. And we didn't want that because the group might have just agreed, and that would have been a less interesting session. So it's like, no, you guys have this fight. Well, it turns out nobody wanted to make it a fight, and everybody wanted to save the kid, so I apparently should have been there to be like, well, wait a minute. What about, do the roadie from Endgame thing. Well, so they're having an argument with a god about whether they should kill this kid or not. The gods are... Our campaign is similar to just like Greek mythology. The gods are just there all the time. Mm-hmm. So the entire point of our group is each of us is like the champion of a god. We've been tasked with glorious purpose.
I see.
And it started with my character because my character is there because of Mystra. Like specifically. So they were discussing with these gods on whether they should kill this baby. And it was really funny because Grayson was on the side of not killing baby, but every argument he made somehow was not helping them at all. I thought that shit was funny because I wasn't there, so it didn't matter. But then So my character in that game is known to be a bit of an aura farmer. He just wants to be the cool guy and always is. Being a sorcerer makes that really easy, because sorcerers are just kind of inherently cool.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically impossible for whatever thing you do to not work. Like, it's a spell. And I, like, have advantage on every attack roll with spells. And most spells don't even need an attack roll. They just either do full or half damage. So, like, it's really hard to not be a cool sorcerer. Though I do have a plan for a one-shot to play a sorcerer who's kind of a loser, which is going to be interesting, but that's not the point. So we had destroyed this, we had saved all these people from being implanted with the Abyss. We destroyed the facility, and we were waiting for the final three, like the three overseers, the most powerful people here to show up, and we were going to kill them and move on. All of the knowledge of this facility would be lost. Big bad evil guy could never make this shit again.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds perfect. So the initial plan was I was going to do the Doctor Strange thing and just like sit on a rock in front of the burning building behind me, let the overseers return, have my little bullshit dialogue moment, and then all of the rest of the group would jump out, kill them, we'd move on. Well, Grayson decided he wanted to try to aura farm this time, so we let him sit on the rock. Cool. He, like, for the just talking part, he was doing pretty good. We were all hidden, waiting for him to finish talking, doing whatever, tell us to jump out. This fucking idiot. After doing so well, like, I was impressed. I was going to give him a round of applause, and then he goes, yeah, but me and those guys over there are going to kill you. And he just ruined we didn't get our surprise round. So he attacked two of them, but one of them escaped to go tell the big bad evil guy that we destroyed his facility and kidnapped his kid.
Oh my God.
You just set up the town we're protecting to get destroyed while we can't do anything about it because you're an idiot. The point of you being the one on the rock is that you're not the one who actually gets to kill these guys. You just get to farm the aura and then watch all your friends do the killing, which was why it was perfect for me, because I'm good at that part. I can farm aura all the time. I'm very good at it, apparently.
So Grayson's basically, you know, in your group, like the Ryan in our group, basically.
I guess, yeah.
I can't wait till you play with him.
I have.
I can't wait. Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Did you?
Well, once. The last time I like returned for a single game session.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah. Bro, just
because you all kept making fun of him with that picture of the cop who got fired for you know.
Yeah.
And I didn't get the joke, so it wasn't very funny to me. It actually just got really annoying because I didn't understand it, and it's like, this is fucking stupid.
It was funny because he created a character, and based on the description of the character, it just perfectly matched this description of this, or what had happened with this cop.
Gotcha.
And so Heath, being Heath, found this picture of this cop, and then, you know, we happened to be talking about it, and then he just, you know how we post our character pictures and stuff in the chat? Yeah. He cropped the cop's head off of the and put it on his character and posted it. And of course, he gets all pissed off, and everybody started laughing. It was funny. So anyway, yeah. But yeah, he sometimes he does things that just like, why? Like, oh, you need to make a donation to the woods for safe travel. What's he do? Cuts off a pinky. Dude could have literally just gave the woods a copper piece and cuts off his entire pinky, and now has like a negative to his dex because he cut his pinky off.
Okay.
Didn't even hesitate either. You need to make a donation to the woods. I cut my pinky off.
I need to talk to Miller.
Oh my god.
I have an idea just now for Wednesday's game. If it goes the way I think Miller's going to go with it, which is to have the big bad evil guy try to destroy everything. I've been kind of trying to look for an excuse to play a different character for a little bit. I don't know if it'll work. I have an idea. I guess we'll talk about it next week if I go through with it or not. I don't want to say it now. Just, I guess the episode will come out after the D&D game, but still, I'm going to wait. Also, so we're level 12 characters in Miller's game. I don't know if you've ever made it that high.
No, I have not.
Yeah.
Well, did we make it that high in Heroes game?
In Heroes, no. In mine, maybe? You might have as Iverson.
I couldn't remember if we did.
Heroes, definitely not. We're only like 7.
Not Heroes. I'm at yours.
Oh, yeah. Maybe you got close to that, but
I know I was up there quite a ways.
Yeah, and I know I wanted to go farther. It was getting to the point where scheduling was really hard, so it was like, fuck it. We're at a spot where we can. We're just gonna call it.
Right.
Before we miss everybody. Yeah.
Right.
I am a sorcerer with an armor class of 19 while wearing no armor. I made myself a first level monk, so I'm only an 11th level sorcerer. But I just maxed my dexterity. My stats with this character are fucking ridiculous. 20 charisma, 20 wisdom, and 18 dex. So the monk thing, wisdom and 10 plus wisdom plus dex for my armor class gives me a 19. If I bump my dex at like my next level up, I can have an armor class of 20 as a sorcerer without putting on armor.
Damn.
Yeah. It's pretty great. We all also got really cool magical weapons. Mine's incredible because Mystra... So it very much pulled, like Miller's based a lot of this campaign off of a musical, like about the Odyssey, which is like a Greek myth, but it's called Epic. Yep. I haven't listened to anything but the one song he used from it to tie into my character because it's a prophecy song that weirdly fit with my character, like very much. It's weird how good it fit. And I had never seen the musical, so I didn't mean for it to happen. And Miller didn't help me create my character, so he didn't mean for it to happen. It just worked. I like when things work out, you know?
Right.
But, so Mystra finds adventurers very interesting because they are the only mortal beings who mess with the strings of fate at all. Because most mortal beings just follow their destiny, whether they know they're doing it or not, and they just go, we're adventurers, do weird shit all the time. And she looked at me and Miller's DMPC Dino. Little Freudian slip there. Apparently Miller is just Dino in my head. Which makes sense. If you knew about this character, you'd get it. But Mystra just looked at us and she's like, and nobody messes with the strings of fate quite like you two. And I got this sword that actually just allows me to pull the strings of fate, which is fucking incredible. Yeah, I can like physically mess with the strings of fate. Not like all the time, but sometimes. And that's sick. Not even one of the 4 coolest weapons one of our characters has, though.
Oh my god.
I'm pretty sure one of us just has the Blades of Chaos.
Oh.
Like Kratos is, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what's fucked up? 12th level characters with these badass weapons. Most of us still almost die in every combat.
Yeah, I believe it.
Because Miller's not afraid to throw things at us.
I was about to say, yeah, here's an ancient dragon.
Never even a dragon. Not one time. Oh, no, we did fight a dragon one time. It wasn't an ancient one, though.
Oh, lame.
We were only 8th level.
Oh, lame.
Our little halfling ranger killed it.
Oh.
Because basically, sorcerers, a lot of sorcerer spells are only fire damage.
Right.
So me and the dragon just kind of looked at each other angrily a lot. I think I did more damage from punching it because, monk.
Right.
And I didn't have the cool sword yet.
Yeah.
So my character's so well known for aura farming. Miller just gave me a cloak of billowing. It does nothing except billow like the wind is blowing. Yeah. So I'll just be standing there and my cape just blows. I use it to make jokes a lot. So like anytime I'm standing near Grayson's character and he starts talking, I just have the cloak start hitting him in the face. It's very funny. Miller is very into the rule of cool at all times.
Mm-hmm.
All times. We defeated an enemy by only hitting them with WWE moves at one point.
Oh my god.
Including my character pulling a Jeff Hardy and doing a swanton bomb off of a roof. Because I was like, the easiest way to not lose this guy running through the streets of the city is I'm going to climb up on the roofs and just run along the roof line because then I have perfect view. Well, then somebody else had got him prone on the ground, and I was like, oh, perfect. I'm yeeting myself off this roof onto this guy. Very fun. Yeah, that game's a blast. Most of the time. Last week, it about gave me an aneurysm. Thanks, Grayson. That was bad, man. It was really bad. Hey, at least that video's getting views as a YouTube short. I think it only has like 4 on TikTok.
Yeah.
It's weird how
TikTok's
content.
a weird place.
I was gonna say it's just weird how content will do well on one platform but not another.
Uh-huh.
It's like that doesn't make sense. If it's good, then shouldn't it do well everywhere?
Right. Well, not necessarily, because TikTok just randomly promotes your videos and then randomly doesn't.
Yeah.
So it's weird.
So it was a video on TikTok of some lady was talking about the Rockies.
Oh, I've seen it.
Oh, you saw the one I uploaded today?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
But yeah, her video is insane because she like did a full deep dive. The worst team in MLB history was like the 1889, 1889, I don't know, something, Cleveland Spiders. And they started their season through 27 games, 6-21.
Mm-hmm.
The Rockies right now are 4-23.
Oh my god.
Actively on pace to be the worst team in the history of baseball.
Oh my god, dude. You can't be proud of that. Like,
no.
How are you supposed to like wear a Rockies logo around right now? Like,
I do it because I'm a masochist, I guess. And maybe does that also make me a sadist? I don't fucking know how words work.
I don't know.
I am a glutton for punishment, I guess.
Yeah, but like, if my Bills were fucking, went like 1-16 or something like that, I would not wear Bills apparel anywhere.
Lame. You're not a real fan.
Well, the reason being because I just know somewhere I'm gonna go, they're gonna be like, how could you fucking Bills? It's the worst team in the NFL.
Hey man, I've been a Vikings, Timberwolves, and Rockies fan my entire life. People have been saying that shit to me my entire life. It doesn't.
They're not. They've never been like bad.
Well,
like
everyone except the Vikings has, and the Vikings just get made fun of because they're always just good, but never good enough.
Right.
Fucking team.
Yeah.
So just so you know, there is another team that is really bad this year. but they're still almost twice as good as us. The White Sox are 7-21.
Oh.
But they've still got almost double the wins. It's tough because the Rockies also play in the best division in baseball. So you've got the Giants at 19-10. You got the Dodgers at 18-10. The Padres at 17-11. The Diamondbacks at 15-13. And then the Rockies at 4-23. Oh, yeah. It's bad out here, man. It's tough. Yeah. It's a tough spot.
So what'd you think of your draft? Are you happy with the draft?
I'm more happy with it than most people, but that's because most people are stupid. My least favorite thing has been, so the Texans picked right after us, and they traded out with the Giants to let the Giants go get Jackson Dart. That's a choice. That guy fucking sucks. I will bet my reputation on he will not be good. I don't care. He's a worse prospect than Matt Corral was, and Matt Corral has never started an NFL game.
Did you see the throw he had at the?
Yeah, dude, he's not a football player. I don't care. And I hate this. Well, Brian Daboll just wanted the traits because maybe he can be like Josh Allen, and it's like no, because if you were going to bet on the traits, you take Jalen Milroe, who is basically just Anthony Richardson, but like played at a real school. So like he played real competition and like actually was good.
That's better upside.
Right? Like no, it's not better upside. It's just a better floor. Like True. Anthony Richardson's floor isn't like an okay backup or whatever. His floor is if he is not good this year, he never plays on another team. This is it.
Right.
He's got a year or his career is over. Milroe was never that low. It's insane to me that he fell to the third round and is going to go to Seattle and sit behind Darnold for 3 years and then start as a 24-year-old. That's like actually a great path. Like, shout out Seattle for being smart, especially being able to get that guy in the third round when for the same guy, basically, the Colts had to use the 7th pick a couple years ago. Insane how that works out. But the Vikings oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, I don't want you to forget. I won't forget.
Remember when I said the Bills are going to be fucking crazy and probably take another tight end?
Well, I mean, the things they do late in the draft doesn't matter.
But I don't know what it is about them and their fucking tight ends. They already got 2 of them. What do we need another one for?
Because neither of them are that good.
Well, I figured maybe like Knox or something was maybe not going to work out for him or was going to leave or something like that. So they drafted another tight end to sit behind Kincaid.
I don't know. Who knows, man? But so the Vikings took a guard who most people had as the 3rd best guard in this class, which is the correct place for him. But he was also incredible at Ohio State, like actually. And I think the reason people didn't know how to grade him as a guard is because he spent more than half the year as a left tackle because they needed a tackle really bad. And then he was also really good there.
Right.
So the Vikings decided they wanted to replace Blake Brandel, which is smart because he kind of sucks. And now there's a real chance where every guy on the Vikings offensive line is at minimum above average. I don't know if there's ever been a time in the last 25 years you could say that about the Vikings. So I'm here for it.
Right. And it's a perfect time to have it because McCarty.
Yep. So the Donovan Jackson pick, wow, it felt like a reach at the time. The other 2 guards were gone. And the thing I've been seeing on Twitter that pisses me off is, well, look at what the Texans got for that pick. You could have just traded out and got Donovan Jackson later. No, because you know why the Texans traded out? Like the official reason that has been stated? Because the Vikings took Jackson, which means if we traded out, we don't get him. And if we decided that was our guy, then that's your guy and you take him. I don't care.
Right.
I stand by, if you decided a player is the player that you want on your team, you just take him. It doesn't matter the value or the supposed value, Because guess what? If he turns into a franchise left guard and is like an all-pro, nobody's going to care that you didn't trade back 8 spots. You're really not.
Right.
The value doesn't matter as long as the player's good.
Mm-hmm.
Drafting a receiver with our second pick really does tell me the team kind of wants to get rid of Jordan Addison, which makes sense. Don't drink and drive, you fucking asshole.
Yep.
Maybe the Bills will trade for him. Give us another first-round pick for one of our Devo wide receivers. Let's go. Hey, it worked out pretty well the last time.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, yeah, we ended up drafting a better wide receiver, but, you know, I hate when people compare trades in that way. Because you didn't trade Justin Jefferson for Diggs. You traded a first-round pick.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't matter. The value of the trade should just be the pick, not who gets picked with that pick. Because that has... Who's to say the Bills would have drafted Jefferson? They probably wouldn't have.
Right.
They probably would have went, who's the receiver who went after him?
Yeah, because Jefferson, I don't really think at the time would have fit the Bills' play style.
Especially not with what people thought he was coming out of college.
Mm-hmm,
you have to remember, people viewed him as only a slot guy. There's a reason he was the 5th receiver taken in that class. There's a reason Jalen Reagor was drafted ahead of him. Not really saying it was a good reason, but there was a reason. Because in college, he had only played in the slot.
Right.
Now, with the value of hindsight, you take him number 1 overall instead of Joe Burrow. You just do. Or at minimum, you take him number 2 overall. But honestly, the Bills probably would have just went with like Brandon Ayuk. And Jefferson probably falls to 31. Or the Bills take T. Higgins, which again, not a bad pick, but it's not Jetta's. No. And who's to say Jetta's would have been any good in Buffalo? Not any good. The skills exist, but who's to say he would have been Jetta's?
Right.
Like, the place you land really does matter.
Right.
I think people are learning that more now. Yes, there are some guys who fail because they're lazy or whatever. But most of the time, it's just where you got drafted. Like, Jamarcus Russell wouldn't have worked wherever he went. It wasn't a Raiders issue. It was he never learned the playbook and showed up to training camp 50 pounds overweight. Yeah, man, that guy's not working out. It wasn't a Raiders issue. That was a player issue. Nothing you can do. But Sam Darnold sucked because he went to the Jets. And then looked like an above-average quarterback basically the minute he got away from the Jets. He looked good in Carolina. I think people forget that. I know Carolina didn't win a bunch of games with him, but he looked good.
Right.
Now, he didn't look, like a top 10 quarterback. I don't think Sam Darnold's ever going to be that. When you're not Josh Allen having the gunslinger, fuck it, I'm just going to chuck it around, means you can't be top 10 because you're going to fuck up a lot.
Right.
But you take the highs with the lows. I mean, that's what Brett Favre did. He retired as like the most accomplished quarterback ever. He won a ring because he got hot at the right moment, which is all it takes for some guys. It's just get hot at the right moment. Yeah. Not everybody's going to be Joe Burrow about it, where they're just like the same guy all the time.
Right. Yeah.
Which is... What's up?
What'd you think of the Bills' draft?
Well, it didn't start out great. It's tough because, like, Maxwell Hairston, not the worst player of all time, but God, he's a bad person. So maybe don't draft him.
Aside from him,
I don't know who else the Bills got.
Maybe aside from the tight end.
Well, I don't even know which tight end they got. I gotta go look at their draft class. I didn't pay that much attention to the Bills specifically.
That's why I want your intake.
You know who I did pay attention to? The Cardinals, who had an incredible draft.
Yeah. Oh.
And the Falcons, who had a really good draft, but it's soiled by a really dumb trade, kind of just like last year.
Right.
Who'd the Bills get? TJ Sanders. I don't like a defensive tackle who can't stop the run. I just don't. But he's a really good pass rusher, and Ed Oliver exists, so maybe it's okay. He's not a bad player. It's
got his flaws.
I think Omar Norman Lott was still on the board at that point. That's who I would have taken. Landon Jackson's a really good pick as an edge rusher. Deion Walker, I think, is a better run defender, so that is a better defensive tackle choice. Getting both is really interesting. I don't know anything about Jordan Hancock. I also don't know anything about that tight end. Dorian Strong, I wasn't super impressed with, and then I haven't heard of the last two guys either. But that's a Maryland receiver in the 7th round, so Stephon Diggs again, maybe. I don't fucking know.
Well, I looked up some, highlights from him, and he actually seems really good. He's got really good hands.
Did the Bills and the Vikings draft a Maryland receiver in this draft? Did we both just draft another Diggs? I know that's not how that works, but it's fun to pretend. Yes, we did both draft a Maryland receiver. All right.
Yeah. I wouldn't say he's the fastest receiver in the world. I don't think he's a slowpoke, but he's just got really good hands.
Fair.
Which, when you have a quarterback that can throw the ball 112 miles an hour, you got to have people that can catch. I don't know. I didn't hate the draft. We picked up a lot of defense.
Yeah.
Which I guess the Bills decided, we can score with the offense we have. We just need a defense. And that's basically the way they went. They went mostly defense players.
Yeah. Ooh, I also think the Raiders had a really good draft. That's annoying.
Yeah, the Raiders. Yeah, the Raiders did have a good draft.
I also love the Raiders taking 2 quarterbacks and neither of them being Quinn Ewers. My Texas hate really enjoys that Quinn Ewers didn't get drafted and Montana State's quarterback did. That makes me happy. Yeah. I can't believe they selected quarterbacks with back-to-back picks and neither of them were that quarterback. That's so funny. Who else had a good draft? Weirdly, the Cowboys did, and that just feels odd.
Yeah, but the Cowboys are still going to cowboy it.
But the Cowboys, it's like they didn't do the we need to take it. They just took best player available, even though maybe they had bigger needs. It just works out because they got 3 guys who had I had first round grades on. That's, at some point you just have to be you know what? That's just good value. You got 3 really good players. Congrats.
Right.
Yeah, maybe you still have some major flaws, but good players are good players. You need a couple of those at least.
Yep.
You know what makes me happy? I think that the Lions had a really bad draft, and that makes me happy.
I heard that.
They got one player that I like, but the Lions and continuing to have a good offensive line feels like it tracks, so whatever.
Yeah.
But the defensive tackle they took, I don't understand why at all.
Right.
But you do you, Lions. Keep doing dumb shit. Also, the Browns, unfortunately, had an incredible draft. The Dylan Gabriel pick pisses me off, though, man. Especially if you're going to pick Shador later anyways. I'm sorry. Dylan Gabriel does not a single thing better than Shedeur. Why did you waste a 3rd-round pick?
Right.
Also, you play in Cleveland where it's cold and windy. You cannot take the 5'8" weak-armed lefty to play in Cleveland. That's just not going to work. I'm not even sure Shedeur will work in Cleveland. Because, like, to be good, especially in the AFC North where you're playing in windy cold, you probably want a guy with a pretty decent arm. And, like, Shedeur's arm isn't weak, but it's not, like, strong. He doesn't have a great arm. I feel like maybe with that, what pick did Milroe go with? I feel like no matter what, you probably just should have just taken Milroe. I feel like I would say that for a lot of teams, though.
Mm-hmm.
I just really like Milroe's upside. He's the only quarterback in this draft class that has, like, superstar potential. Shedeur and Cam Ward can both be good. Will Howard can be good. Jalen Milroe's the only one who can be a freak. Will he be? I have no fucking clue. But at least he could be.
Till after they play.
Yeah. The Seahawks, though, probably the team that won the draft. Can't lie. God, they had a good draft class. What the fuck? Who let this happen? Well, and then the Eagles, but they always win the draft. Because their roster's so good. They just get to pick the best guy all the time. Fucking annoys the shit out of me. How did we let this guy fall to the Eagles? How do you let any guy fall to the Eagles? What if we just drafted everybody before the Eagles got the pick? What if the Colts go up there with pick 14, and with the 14th pick of the NFL draft, the Colts select everybody? All of them.
Right.
What happens then, huh? What do you do? What are you going to do about it? I don't know. Is there anything else I wanted to yap about? Is there anything else you want to yap about?
Pretty much covers my end. I got to get ready for volleyball.
So apparently some douchey kid from Ole Miss prank called multiple people on draft night. I think that shit's fucked up.
Yeah, it is fucked up because I think he called Shedeur Sanders.
Yep, that was the first one. And then I can't remember what other prospect it was, but somebody else got prank called as well.
Mm-hmm.
And that's so fucking lame, dude.
Right.
It's just a prank, bro. I don't understand this whole... I don't get the thought process there. How do you do that to somebody?
Oh yeah, I'm just gonna pull strings on this person's whole livelihood, their whole thing they've worked hard for, and you're gonna sit there and play with their emotions like that? Fucking asshole.
Right? Like, that's just so fucked up. I don't get it. I hate it. Ooh, I wonder if the vote passed. I don't know if Washington, D.C. has its... Like, I don't know how that place works because it's not a city or a state, and it's not part of a state. So I don't know who votes on how things work there. I guess I could Google it, but I'm not gonna. But there was a vote about whether they would move the Commanders back to D.C. Because technically their FedEx Field has... I don't think it's called that anymore. But FedEx Field has been not in D.C. It's been somewhere in Maryland. And the new owner of the Commanders is like, we have to build a new stadium anyways. We want to put it where the old stadium was, like the one where Washington won all of their Super Bowls. Like, we want to put it right there. Let us do that. And apparently that vote did go through. So
Well, good.
now they can change their name. Not the Commanders part, because apparently they're sticking with that because all of the players are really bought into it. And you know what? I'm cool with it. Just give us Patriots commies every year, though. I want the Cold War every year. Please. It's just too funny. Think about the money you could make on Cold War merch. But yeah, apparently they are moving back to DC, which is cool.
Good.
I think. That really looks like they are, though. There's a press conference with some people talking that just says, welcome home. So I think that means they're moving back to DC, which is a win in my book.
Right.
That also means new stadiums, so nobody has to have shit leak on their head again.
Right.
That happened. Washington State.
Yep.
Oh, remember the people who almost killed Jalen Hurts because the guardrail broke and a bunch of fans fell onto the feet? Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah, that stadium's a piece of shit. It's tough. It's tough. All right, well, I guess. Wonder says he's going to go to volleyball.
I do. Good thing we got this done today, because tomorrow would have been rough.
True. Why did I whistle while I said true? That was fucking weird.
I don't know. Whatever, Herbert.
No. I can't do that voice. Oh, final thing. I learned to... No, I can do that voice. I just get stuck in it, so I'm not gonna. You remember.
Yep.
I figured out how to tie my hair back like how Ned Stark does.
Oh.
To keep, like, the sides and back long, but just have the top pulled back. That's been pretty great.
Good.
I know that's a weird thing to bring up, but yeah.
Weird thing to end on, too.
And I figured it out. I looked it up because I'm rewatching Game of Thrones.
Oh.
So I was like, how the fuck do you do that? I want to wear my hair like that. Now I have been. So, haha. All right. I guess that'll do it for us. So, thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.